Okay, welcome back. So this is the enzymic browning experiment. I've allowed the apples then to sit here for an hour. So this would be at the end of the lesson then. We're going to review and have a look at the results. Okay, so we've got the control. So looking at the control, you've got some browning on the surface there of the apple. That's what you would expect then. So that there's nothing on there whatsoever, it's just a natural sliced apple, which we're going to review the other slices with. So you've got the apple with the sugar. There is some slight browning on there and a glossy appearance from the sugar, but the browning is less than the control. Now we've got the lemon juice, so if I just hold that up, you can see it's looking really fresh, quite white in colour. No enzymic browning reaction has occurred on the lemon juice. The lemon juice is an acid, it lowers the pH, so that's worked quite well. Blanching, okay, obviously the texture has changed, it's really soft. So there it's cooked slightly, the cooking process has started. You can see from the colour of the skin then it's gone a yellow colour, but it's fine. There's no browning as such on this. It's sort of more of a yellow colour. Got the one here that's been in the fridge. I've taken that out. There is some slight browning there on the edges, both sides. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, but it's less than the control, so there's an improvement. Immersed in water, this is just water from the tap. Again, there is some slight browning there on the edges, but not as much as the control. So immersed in water has some effect of preventing enzymic browning. Salt. That looks good. There's no enzymic browning on the one with the salt. It does look a bit shriveled though, started to shrivel up. I wonder why that is. And the one in cling film, unfortunately, cling film has a little effect on that. It looks very similar to the control. There's a bit of browning there, quite a bit of browning on that. So cling film, the barrier, hasn't really prevented enzymic browning on using cling film. Okay, so have a look at them. Hopefully you can see. I'm going to write up the results now on your results table, which you'll have in front of you, and then you can then go on then to the conclusion. So the video can be paused at any time, and then we can go on to the conclusion. So hopefully, I don't know whether I can move the camera in a bit or raise the chopping board up. Okay, not sure if that helps. Hopefully me talking through them then has enabled you to write your results up. Okay, so the conclusion then, we need to write a summary of what did the investigation show. So we need to think back to your hypothesis. So did the results support or oppose the hypothesis? So was your hypothesis correct or incorrect? So look back and decide then what you wrote and were you correct. Which one browned the most and which one browned the least. So which one browned the most on here? So the cling film, okay, browned the most. Very similar to the control there. Lots of browning then coming all along on the surface, all along the edges. And the one that browned the least, looking at the results, the best one is the lemon juice, because it's nice, lovely white colour, no enzymic browning whatsoever, and it's crisp looking and fresh looking. The salt one does look very good as well, but it's quite dry and soft. Okay, the flesh is sort of not crisp anymore as well. So obviously the salt then has drawn out the water from the apple, and that wouldn't really be nice to taste or eat as a cook then at home if you were working with that. And it's salty as well, so we would ruin the taste. The one in cold water, well, it has helped a little bit to slow it down, but not prevent it completely. There's still some brown in there on the apple. Same again with the apple in the chiller. Okay, starting to brown slightly as well. And the one blanching, it's sort of gone a yellow colour. Okay, and the flesh is turned sort of a different colour. It's a little bit soft as well, and the skin has gone a yellow as well. So try and make the science link as well. Okay, so the lemon juice is an acid, so it's prevented then that chemical reaction between the phenol and the enzyme. It's inhibited that completely, so that's what's happened there. Maybe the cling film, we were trying to prevent the oxygen then entering the flesh and reacting with the phenol and the enzymes. Okay, but the oxygen is still being able to penetrate and pass through the cling film, and in the water as well there is some oxygen still able to then pass through into the flesh of the apple as well. So it's slowed down, but it hasn't prevented the reaction completely. Okay, so try and link that up then with the science. Think back to your hypothesis. You can draw a diagram as well in your conclusion. That's quite a nice thing to do. There are plenty of books out there with diagrams of enzymic browning. So maybe we can have a look on that, and your teacher could put a diagram up on the whiteboard perhaps, or you could research one yourself as well. Okay, and that concludes then the experiment and the results. Thank you very much. Hope then you find writing up the conclusion not too difficult.